What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure you're following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today, once again, we are headed back to New Venezuela. Why? Because what's happening in New Venezuela, formerly known as New York City, is completely disgusting. It's completely disgusting. And it further goes to show why the American people have an unfavorable rating of 57% when it comes to the Democrat Party. Yes, 57% of the American people look at the Democrats in a negative light as unfavorable. And this is something that we discussed before in a prior live stream. Right now in New York, in a move of retaliation, as far as I'm concerned, and it's as clear as day that this is a move of retaliation, because Mayor Eric Adams is working alongside with Tom Homan and the Trump administration in order to remove illegal immigrant criminals. We're talking about the worst of the worst, the gangbangers, the cartel, those who are violators of women, as I say, and violators of children, those who are committing acts of violence in the city, because he has the audacity to operate with common sense and say, hey, I'm going to work with ICE and do workarounds to get around city council so that ICE and the NYPD can work together to make our city safe. Because he's doing this, she is contemplating exercising her power as governor to remove Eric Adams from his seat as mayor. Unbelievable. As I've stated many times in the past, Democrats are the very people that they claim to be protecting us against. They are the dictators, they are the tyrants, and they love engaging in lawfare and all other type of nonsensical activities to remove their political opponents where they cannot win over the American people on their own. What I want to do right now is that I want to get into this interview slash conversation, you can say, a dialogue that occurred with Eric Adams and Tom Homan together on Fox News. This is a 21-minute long interview slash dialogue, you can say. Obviously, we're not going to go through the whole thing. I really just want to take a moment quickly to play some of the highlights from it in which they discussed their plans moving forward and the roadblocks that they have ahead of them that they're trying to avoid as it pertains to city council standing in the way of essentially common sense. So let's get into this right now.
Well, here's the thing. You can disagree on things, but Tom has made it very clear that if a politician stands in the way of the federal government executing the law, they are going to bring charges against people like you. And in fact, we've seen the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, go after officials already. So was that part of the conversation yesterday?
No, I didn't think it needed to be. I mean, we talked very frankly about, first of all, getting to Rikers Island, step one. That's the first step. We're working on some other things that we don't really want to talk about in open air just because the city council will be putting roadblocks up on us. But the mayor and me have committed to several other things to make the city safer. Further collaboration. Again, city council, I don't like him. I think, and Mayor Adams, he's dealing with the sanctuary law, right? That an EO can't override.
Right.
So we're working on some things to work around some of these things. So we can
You're being careful the way you describe it.
I've got to be very careful because the city council, they hate me, right? The city council, they don't want immigration enforcement in this city. So we got to make sure that we collaborate in a smart way so we can get more bad guys off the street.
Yeah. That's the goal. And you said something that's very interesting. You said that elected officials who are standing in the way are like me. Let's be clear. I'm not standing in the way. I'm collaborating against so many others that don't want to collaborate.
Well, now you're collaborating.
No, like I said, go back to spring of 2022. I was saying We need to get dangerous people off our streets.
Mayor, no,
That's what
Mr.
I'm
Mayor,
saying.
what is City Council, what are they saying about you wanting to change the wording where we could go after the illegals, even if they're paying taxes, if they commit a crime? Because I saw Vicky Palladino. I know she's a New York City Councilwoman. She's a Republican. And then Robert Holden is a moderate Democrat.
Both of them, if you were to talk to them about that change, they would tell you we agree with Eric.
Okay.
But the overwhelming number of council members who have made it clear that they're not going to modify that law. I don't have.
Why? What is their reason? Why would they protect the criminal?
Well, I think that you look at many of the policies that I put in place, put in my anti-gun union, 20,000 guns removed off the street, put in 1,000 cops back in the subway system to bring down crime. All of these initiatives that I do around public safety, it's a constant fight with them because I think many people are articulating their personal reasons and not the feeling that the city has. 78% of New Yorkers stand with me, stand with what Tom is doing about getting these dangerous individuals.
But the problem is,
Let's take a moment to pause right there. Did you hear what Eric Adams said? I believe, if I heard him correctly, somewhere between 73 to 78% of New Yorkers agree with removing the criminal illegal aliens off the street. 73 to, I think, or I might have said 78% of the citizen population in New York want the mayor of NYC, Eric Adams, and Tom Homan to collaborate to do what they're doing. But look at how out of step the Democrats continue to be with the will of the people. I just wanted to highlight that because I think that's really important, and I didn't want that to go over anybody's head. But let's get back into the video here.
Tom, you know the NYPD. How frustrated are they that they can't fully have your back, be able to tell them exactly where these guys are, be able to go into these raids with you?
Oh, they're frustrated. I mean, the NYPD wants to protect their streets too, and they want to enforce the law, and they want to collaborate with us. I mean, I don't think I met a single uniform in the 4 years I've been coming to the studio that sit out front. I shake everyone their hands. We had dinner with officers last night, not only from NYPD. We had dinner with officers from Newark and from Philadelphia. We had a whole table full of officers that want to do the right thing. They want to collaborate with us. But I think yesterday's meeting, I came to New York City, I wasn't going to leave without nothing.
Right.
I did the last time, and I told them I'm not leaving until I got something. And we're back into Rikers, that's huge. But we got other things we're working on. So I'm hoping, and now I got him on the couch in front of millions of people. He can't back waving us now, right? So I think you're going to see things move in the right direction. I really, truly believe that.
And we don't want to give the false impression that there's no collaboration around criminal justice. We collaborated with ICE to take down a very dangerous gang member who was trying to put grenades in our city, caught with a gun. So there's real collaboration with HIDA, our criminal justice apparatus on the city, state, and federal level. We want ICE to come and be a part of that meeting as well.
Now, let's get into the foolishness, right? Let's jump into the foolishness. And what is the foolishness? It's this right here. Look at this headline, completely insane. And then we're going to follow up with the actual interview that Kathy Hochul did on MSNBC concerning removing Eric Adams out of his seat. The article reads as such: Governor Kathy Hochul doesn't rule out removing Eric Adams from office following allegations NYC mayor was involved in quid pro quo with DOJ. New York Governor Kathy Hochul on Thursday night didn't rule out removing Mayor Eric Adams from office after allegations emerged that the feds would drop their criminal case against his honor in exchange for his help with President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. Hochul, the only official in the state who has the power to boot Adams from his position, revealed on MSNBC that she's consulting with officials about the mayor's future. Look at this wicked demon right here. Wow, unbelievable. Anyways, the article continues to read as we're close this out because I want to get into exactly what she had to say. Hochul's comments come on the heels of her second in command, Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado, calling on Adams to resign, accusing the Big Apple leader of being in Trump's pocket. But they didn't call for Joe Biden to resign when it was very obvious that the bogus charges that they put on him was out of retaliation for Eric Adams putting the rightful blame of the migrant crisis at the feet of Biden and Harris. It was very obvious and very clear as day that that's why Biden's DOJ put these charges on him. And you can go look at a lot of situations surrounding corruption and mismanagement of money and quote gifts as it pertains to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. I think he should be investigated. He should probably be looked into concerning bribes and things of that nature. Now, that didn't happen under the Biden administration. Why? Even though there's legitimate concern because Brandon Johnson plays ball and he follows the DNC playbook, well, no harm, no foul. But God forbid you have a mind of your own like Eric Adams and you stand on the truth. Now, Biden is putting charges on you. But I digress. Let's get into what Kathy Hochul actually had to say concerning Eric Adams and possibly removing him. Obviously, once again, this is clear retaliation because unfortunately in New York, the governor as well as NYC City Council, they're only concerned with protecting violent criminals that are committing crime in NYC at the expense of the citizen population.
Let me ask you about this drama involving Mayor Eric Adams and the corruption charges against him. What we've just seen with the resignation of the U.S. attorney, the Trump-appointed acting U.S. attorney, the removal of line prosecutors on that case, the demand from Maine Justice to drop that case, the refusal from SDNY to do it, then the resignation of Maine Justice officials who had the case dumped on them and they wouldn't take it either. This is just an incredible drama in terms of federal law enforcement right now. But you are in a very unusual position, a singular position with regard to this case, which is that thanks to the New York State Constitution and New York City law, you are the only person who has the power to effectively fire Mayor Eric Adams and remove him from this position, which might conceivably moot this whole fight. How are you thinking about that now? You could have done it at any point until now, but now, given this crisis that's emerged in federal law enforcement around this case, are you feeling differently about that responsibility?
Let me tell you from a couple of angles here. One is that this is unbelievably unprecedented for the Department of Justice in Washington to interfere in this way. My husband was a 30-year federal prosecutor. Barack Obama made him his United States attorney. You look at what happened here. This is not supposed to happen in our system of justice. The Bondi administration in that Department of Justice is already showing they're corrupt. Now, set that aside. I did see the letter that was issued by the acting United States attorney. The allegations are extremely concerning and serious.
Yes.
But I cannot, as the governor of this state, have a knee-jerk, politically motivated reaction like a lot of other people are saying right now. I have to do it smart, what's right, and I'm consulting with other leaders in government at this time. We've got to have one sane person in this state who can cut through all the crap and say, what is my responsibility, guide me to do? And just as when the allegations came out last September, and the city was in chaos, I said, I will intercede, work with the mayor to get rid of a lot of people who are under indictment, calm it down, bring in a new police chief commissioner who's doing an outstanding job. Our subways are safer. People are feeling better around the city. More people are coming back. I don't want our rebirth to be stopped by this. I have to maintain stability and the chaos and do what's right for the city of New York, because as governor, I also represent the city. These are my constituents as well. I'm going to make sure they're protected here. So this just happened. I need some time to process this and figure out the right approach.
But you are consulting with other leaders, consulting with your advisors, and looking anew at this matter,
Of course I am.
Given the recent developments.
Of course I am.
Governor.
These people, Jesus. I'm not going to, we'll just shut it down here. Because I try my best to keep things professional. I think I do a pretty good job of doing it. I don't want to just go down the road of name calling and stuff like that. But yeah, once again, in closing, there is a reason why 57% of registered voters, 57% of the American people view the Democrats as unfavorable. They continue to show themselves to be the wicked demons that they are every day. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And lastly, do not forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group, Telegram. Please, the link of my Telegram is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. Until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.